Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. AmusedJester. My name is Junior. So today we're just going to do something really quick that I picked up uh, from Ross. So first saw this character Fern off of Ross for I believe $5.99. Yeah. Now, just to let you guys know, I wasn't really that impressed with the TV series Skeleton Crew itself. Um, I felt like there was something lacking. I like maybe a connection between the kids that was lacking, um, or more Star Wars lore. It just seems like a bunch of kids going to an adventure that was set in the Star Wars universe, but didn't really go in depth. I think the the most connection to Star Wars that I had to it was the character of Jude Law, Judd Nana Wood. I can't remember his name, but anyway, so I wasn't really connected to that series. So when I saw this one, I was like, when it was being offered, I had no connection. I had no intention to buying it, but for $5.99, even then I wasn't feeling like getting it because this was the only one. For the longest time, I held off on it, and also, but anyway, we'll talk about what I'm thinking about this figure later on. But this one was $5.99, and for the longest time I couldn't find anybody else. And then I saw this guy at a different Ross, and I said, "Well, let's chance it and see." It's $6 a figure. We'll try it out and see. And then 2 days ago, I saw her, KB, again for $6.99. And by then, I figured, you know what, $6 per figure. I looked at Amazon. This was on sale for 16, so it ended up costing me the whole crew as like the whole crew probably cost me about $30 or so. Probably less because even though this was $16, I did use some reward points, so it ended up being $10 for me. Um, but is it worth that price? Even at, let's say, $30. Let me open these up, and I'll tell you what's still in my mind as I value these guys up. All right, so I got them out of packaging, and I just sloppily put things on. So, one of the things as I looked at this character, she's the one I looked on the most because she was the one I was seeing a lot. I, you know me with figures, like I keep telling, it's like when if you catch the face correctly, then the whole thing just follows. And in this one, I feel like her features are too soft. Like what I'm feeling that might have happened was when Hasbro got the approval for these to be made, because remember these are basically being made a year and a half in advance, and the kids are at that age where they are doing growth spurts, and I feel like this is probably the portrait for that actress when she was a year younger, and her face had grown much more than this, because this feels like a more younger looking face for her. That's what I was thinking, and I think it was basically um, justified that way of thinking when I saw this guy's face. What is this guy's name? When I saw Wim's face, because that definitely looks a whole lot younger than what I saw um, on the movie. So that's kind of bugging me. This one, KB, is better only because I feel like with her Asian features, even though she might be growing in that year and a half time, she didn't. Her facial features did not progress as much um, as the rest do, because some Asian female features tend to stay younger looking, and I feel like her progress didn't show as much. Plus, she does have this big visor in front of her eyes, which is one of the things that would have either cemented the portrait or not. And of course, this guy Wim, is that his name? Wim or Neil? Neil, um, because he's close. I mean, like there's not much a lot of features for me to um, gravitate towards too. The other thing that's really interesting, and I don't know again if it's because of the growth spurt within that year happening or not, is that Neil is almost the same height as Fern and KB, but in the show it should be something like this. One of the things I did notice in the very first episodes alone, you can see that Neil or Wim is shorter than the two girls. Um, so I feel like this should be something like around there. Unfortunately, it's not showing that. They're all showing at the same height, except for him. So I feel like in the year and a half time during production, the two ladies grew faster than the male, as I think uh, female adolescents usually do. They have a growth spurt faster than male. Can't remember. I'm 50 years old. What can I? It's been so long since I've done that growth spurt myself. But anyway, so they didn't really capture the characters that I saw on screen, and then on top of that, um, the fact that I wasn't really enthusiastic about the characters on screen as well. So for $6, it's not bad, but when you add them all together, being $30 together, it's okay. Um, your value might, I would say I would value these all of this at 10. I got what I wanted. I paid for it, and it's a good deal cheaper than I would have paid if it had been in full price. I would never buy these at full price because, for one thing, with my collection, the Black Series, I should have been just concentrating on troopers. I don't have any, or Jedi's. I don't have any interest in individual characters. But for the price, I was like, yeah, maybe, and then I got it anyway. Anyway, so I would value these at 10, base price 10. Um, I got them. There's no regrets for buying it. Um, I probably would have liked it better. Well, it's like $10, so it's okay. Anyway, so that's basically it for my review of these toys. In terms of the characters, would I like to see Skeleton Crew with a season 2? Yes, because I feel like that might be where the real good stuff occurs. I feel like season 1 is an introductory piece that held promise, but wasn't really didn't live up to it. But what I liked about this was each individual figures or each individual characters have their own strengths. Like for Neil here, or for Wim here, I saw him as the Luke character where he's hopeful, innocent, and all that stuff. But as he progressed in the film, he became like too stupid. Um, he was just doing a lot of stupid stuff that I didn't really like. That I wish was okay in the beginning, but not necessarily at the end. Fern was the Princess Leia type, where she's very confident, smart, intelligent, and capable. KB would be their kind of like their Data um, character, who's smart and everything and technical, and then Wim or Neil here was kind of like the joke or the runt of the litter. I feel like if they were to concentrate on those in season 2, then I feel like, and then bring back, of course, Jude Law, because Jude Law, like something where they had to go off planet and they needed Jude Law to help them. I feel like that would be a better direction. Like now that they're older, they could concentrate more of bringing her more in towards the Princess Leia role, especially since she's a daughter of the governor of the settlement anyway. More smarter for her, and it would be so much funny if he became the Jedi and he had the Force power than him, and he would be just like, you know what I mean. That's what I was thinking anyway. Anyway, that's it for my review of the Skeleton Crew. I do have Nana Wood somewhere, and I even have the Wolf Pirate, all bought from Ross. That's why I ended up buying it anyway. So if you like it, if you like the story, then definitely it would improve the value of these figures for you. For $6, you can't really beat the price. Would I recommend it at $24? No, God, no. It's not worth it because they didn't capture the likeness of the characters. The height is all wrong. Um, yeah. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.